These are not perfect programs. We have been doing this for quite a while, and the the role of the PNU ITL 10 years after it has been established. But every year there's always a bit of changes kasi contextual yung program na ginagawa namin. Hindi naman eto 10 years na pare-pareho lang, hindi. Depende pa rin sa kung anong klaseng estudyante ang kaharap namin. So contextual siya. Okay, we are trying out new programs. We also modifying some programs, but please expect that it's not 100% smooth and smooth sailing programs. There will be challenges, so expect challenges, and this is how we are going to be challenged. Ayoko ng mga entitled na teachers, ha? Kasi kung dito magkakaproblema ka sa ITL at hindi ka marunong mag-manage at hindi ka marunong mag-manage ng expectation mo, what if at what for pa kung mapunta ka sa DepEd na hindi ka marunong mag-manage ng challenges. Okay? Teachers, there's always a better way of addressing your concern. If you think na kailangan mapansin na yung concern mo, you can always email me. If it's a sensitive issue, email me. I will not, sir, just don't tell my name. Please don't tell the teacher na, pero ito yung nagawa at ito ang aking experience. You tell me. Ayokong nabasa sa Twitter. Okay, na, ano pala, napakapalpak, ganyan. Hindi ka naman matutulungan ng ibang tao nun. Okay? They will just bash you. Remember, PNU is our home. ITL is part of PNU. Okay? So let us protect our own. Magkakaintindihan? Kapag meron kang hindi talaga hindi ka kasagutan kayo ng supervisor, which will happen sometime, okay? Hindi kayo nagkaintindihan, you email me, you tell me, you can go to my office, okay? And I will be very much willing to accommodate your concern because that is what I am for here, okay? I will try my very best to manage and resolve conflicts if we can. But if not, we will channel all the things that you would like to do, okay? Sometimes you would hear words that would not be really good to your own preferences. Okay? That's why we are asking your help. Okay? So kung sa tingin mo, nakadamit pambabae ka na, at babae na talaga ang tingin mo sa sarili mo, you tell your supervisor, ma'am, ang pronoun ko po ay ganito. Okay? Para hindi ka na-offend. Okay? But you could not impose all the time what you would like to do. Nagkakaintindihan tayo, teachers?
Yes, po, sir.
Okay, thank you, Althea. Now, lastly, our next one is environmental responsibility. The ITL is promoting global citizenship education. Therefore, we would like to promote sustainable development. Sa inyong mga gawa, kung meron kayong activity man lang like that, na hindi naman kailangan ng bagong bond paper, pwedeng scratch paper lang, yung material mo, pwede naman ang likod ng kalendaryo like that, then we encourage that, okay? Because we would like to help you financially as well as we would like to let students see that we can reuse and recycle materials in class. But more than that, there will be new equipments coming in to the Institute of Teaching and Learning. We will be provided with, nakita nyo yan, may TV kami. Bago pa man ng university bumili, yung mga parents ng ITL ay bumili na ng malaking TV. Okay? Bawat classroom ay may malalaking TV. But this year, the university will provide us with smart boards. Okay? Yung pagpindot mo, gumagalaw yung screen. Okay? So, ganun, aaralin natin together yun kasi I'm pretty sure you are more adept to it than us. Mas mabilis nyo yan magagalaw kasi mga Gen Z kayo, di ba? So, kaming mga seasoned ay kailangan muna naming aralin pa. So, let's help explore it together. But please make sure that you are responsible. Kapag gumagamit kayo, I will give you a room which we will call the practice teaching laboratory. Okay? Pag gumagamit kayo ng practice teaching laboratory, make sure maayos ang itsura mula sa umpisa hanggang sa pagkatapos. Ang aircon, pag wala na kayo sa loob, kung may aircon ng kwarto, patayin ang aircon. Okay? Huwag tumambay sa amphitheater at i-on ang aircon. Okay? Kasi let us be responsible. Okay? Ang PNU ay hindi private school. Ito ay pag-aari ng gobyerno na every year ay may kaltas ang budget. Okay? So tulungan natin si Inang Pamantasan na makatipid at alagaan ang mga bagay-bagay na binili niya para sa mga estudyante. Kasi hindi lang yan para sa inyo. Para rin yan sa mga sumusunod pa ng mga estudyante. Okay? The ITL has a lot of materials that are not found in the Department of Education. Okay? So some of it are provided by the parents, but most of it provided by the university. So let us be responsible. Okay? Ayoko kayo pa mismo nagva-vandalize dun sa CR ha na FS teacher like this, love FS teacher like this. Parang SM lang ang ginawa. Ayoko ng ganun. Okay? And more than that, I would like you to practice and show how to act responsibly as a global citizen educator. Okay? Sa canteen, make sure na kayo mismo nagsisegregate ng inyong mga kinakainan. Ipakita sa mga estudyante. Pag may estudyante kang nakitang hindi nagsegregate, call the attention. Okay, agad-agad para makita nila that you are part of it. But anyway, most of you will have some ancillary services at the ITL. You will be assigned to certain classes. Kahit hindi nyo klase, kahit kinder pa yan, you will be assigned there to assist the teacher, do some ancillary chores, do some lunch monitoring, and so on para makita ninyo yung how does a school work in response, in actual and real world. Okay? So, sige. And lastly, I would like you to document your experience. Kasi lahat ng ito ay kailangan nyo sa portfolio ninyo. All the experiences that you need here, that you will have here can be a proof and an evidence that you have achieved the competency that are required of the PPST. So document everything. Just make sure na eto, mga estudyante ko naman to at hindi ko naman social media, hindi ko na tinakpan ng mga mata like that. Pero kayo, sa inyong mga portfolio, make sure that you put smiley on it kapag face nila ang nakikita na. Okay? Kasi wala tayong consent about it. And then of course, in all your experiences, make sure that you reflect and expect feedback. Okay? Ang field study ay hindi lang yan para parusahan kayo, ha? Hindi. This is to provide you with experience that you need so that you can be ready for the practice teaching and even be ready with the real world challenges. At the ITL, you will do a lot of activities. Ngayon pa lang sinasabi ko nasa inyo. So matulog na kayo hanggat kaya niyo pang matulog kasi pag simula na ng klase, tuloy-tuloy ang ating mga trabaho. May mga sulat ako na natatanggap about sa letter sa klase. Class, hindi kami ang mag-a-adjust sa inyo. Ang mga estudyante namin ay 7 to 3, 4 maximum na yon. Okay? So wag kayong mag-expect na ang field study nyo ay hanggang gabi. Hindi ko yun magagawa para sa inyo. Okay? Pag nakita nyo ang klase nyo 7 to 9, kausapin nyo ang professor nyo, Sir, pwede po bang sa ibang oras po tayo? Kasi po may field study kami. Okay, I will also talk to the ADs about it. But you also take initiative na to ask your teachers. Kasi hindi pwedeng wala kayo sa oras ng klase ninyo. Kasi pag demo na tapos may conflict sa klase na importante din yung sa klase niyo, magsasuffer ka. And you have to choose. Okay? You have to choose. Hindi ang iba, yung kaklase, kapag ganyan ang scheduling, magsasabi, may klase po kami, sir, may klase po. Eh di wala nang natira sa classroom, nag-field study pa kayo, ida-drop po kayo kapag ganyan. Kung hindi magkatugma ang klase, you choose, you drop the field study na lang. Okay? Mga pang-5 na ata, pang-4 na klase. Imagine kung kung ganun kadami ang may conflict. So anong gagawin natin sa field studies? Okay? Hindi uminit ang ulo ko dahil hindi nyo naman kasalanan. Okay? Hindi nyo kasalanan. Kasalanan na nag-schedule. Pero please take initiative on asking the professor na in case. Okay? Sir, may field study po kami ang oras po namin. Today, they will also show you the classes, okay? Our schedule is available na. And most of it starts at 7, okay? Major subject, science, math, like that, 7 until hapon. Good thing kapag walang conflict sa inyo, pero most of the time, meron yan, magkaka-conflict. Okay? So tingnan nyo na ulit mamaya ang klase ninyo, kausapin nyo yung professor ninyo. Okay? I will also bring the matter to the dean, but you help me out on this one. Okay? So see. Ayan. So, of course, ang ITL is a practice for you also professionally. Okay? Ilang oras na ba ako? May 15 minutes na ba ako? Pasensya na. Okay? Kasi ngayon lang ako ngayon ko lang sila makikita at makakausap. Teachers, pagpasensyahan nyo na. ITL is a professional uh, environment. So whenever you see a teacher, hindi nyo man kilala kung teacher siya o hindi, batiin nyo. Ha? Because there are times, minsan mabangga nyo na ako, wala man lang good morning. Nakita ko, harap-harapan na, mata sa mata. Wala man lang smile, wala man lang, sir, good morning po, ganyan. Parang wala lang nakita. Nahihiya naman ako pag ako pa mag-good morning sa inyo. Diba? So let us practice that because you will also feel that way when you become professionals and the students are not paying courtesy. Okay, it's not power tripping. It's a practice to extend courtesy to whom it is due. Okay, so lastly, teachers, I would like you to remind of this. The teachers have three loves: love of learning, learning with and for the teachers, the love of the learners, and the love of bringing the first two together. We love you as pre-service teachers of our students, and you are our main stakeholder. Aside from the basic ed students, you are our main stakeholders. Kami ay sumasahod dahil sa inyo. Okay? Dahil ang load na field studies ay yun talaga ang load namin, ay para turuan kayo. We love you and therefore we would like to bring the best out of you. So we expect the same. Okay? We would like you to love your learners and love the teaching job, okay? Because it will all start here in this experience, okay? Together, we will bring the best out of our basic ed education students, and we can make the field study a transformative learning experience. We look forward to a successful and enriching journey. Let's make learning an adventure. Thank you very much and good morning.
Thank you, Dr. Daryl Montebon, for the reminders to our field study students. So everybody is reminded to be engaged, to be prepared, to be flexible, no, while in the Institute of Teaching and Learning. So again, this year's Patnuro session 2023-2024's theme is evolving into future-ready teachers. So your field studies is in our experiential learning courses, and as Dr. Montibon have said, no, field studies courses are unique practice, no, for you. Now, we will move on to our first session. Our speaker for the first session, we have Professor Annabel D.C. Palmieri. She is a faculty member of the Philippine Normal University Institute of Teaching and Learning. She holds a degree of Bachelor of Science in Education, major in English from St. Louis University, Baguio City, and a master's degree in Educational Administration from Philippine Normal University. Currently, she is pursuing her doctorate degree at the University of Santo Tomas. She has been a long-time faculty of the PNU ITL and has performed varied roles. She was a club advisor and class advisor, high school coordinator, English teacher, field study mentor, and practice teaching supervisor to English majors who were deployed in various schools in Metro Manila. She has also been designated principal of this institute, which was named before as CTL or Center for Teaching and Learning. Currently, she is the ITL Prefect of Discipline, English teacher of grades 5 and 7, field study mentor, and practice teaching supervisor. Let's all welcome Professor Annabel Palmieri.
Ma'am, naka-unmute po kayo, ma'am.
Hindi pala nag-click. All right. So today I am tasked to discuss with you classroom management and positive discipline. Ang haba ng introduction sa akin ni Sir Steve, and his introduction tells the aids that I now have. And siguro that is the reason why discipline is always my topic. Parang yun yata ang yun yata ang naka-reserve sa mga oldies. Anyway, my dear field study students, classroom management is vital in any teaching and learning process. We cannot find any successful teaching and learning session without effective classroom management. And it's because of that we are going to tackle this thing. Okay. Actually, you are supposed to have a short recitation, pero medyo makakapusin tayo ng oras. So I'll proceed to my lecture. Huh? So let me start from this question. Are you ready for this course? Field study. It's not just study, it is to be studying to be done in a field. You will not be just sitting in the classroom. Of course, it will still be in the classroom, but this time you will not just be sitting in the classroom. You will have to stand and assume a different role. While you are a student, you will also be beginning to be a teacher. Okay, so I tell you, you brace yourself because field study is coming. And it's going to start as early as, it is starting as early as now. And I think that this afternoon, you will be meeting with you'll be meeting your teachers, your professors in this course. And that will be the beginning of your field study. Don't you worry, we will always be here to guide you. As our director told you a while ago, we would like to bring out the best in each one of you. But of course, that's only possible with you if you're going to give your full cooperation. All right. So you brace yourself because field study is coming, and with field study, you will be in a different war, but it requires the same grit, the same perseverance, and of course, a lot of confidence. But confidence does not mean pride. Huh? It does not mean pride. It means trusting yourself that you can give the best that you can possibly do. Okay. So, to start with our topic, what are your basic ideas of a classroom? I am supposed to I hope that you will have your own ideas in your mind, but instead of asking you, I let me just present these ideas, which I suppose all of you have in your mind, plus something more. Okay, perhaps you're thinking that a classroom is a place where the teacher plans her lesson and prepares activities and learning materials, and the students perform and utilize the materials. So, do you think that this is what a classroom is? Of course, a teacher, whenever a teacher stands in front of a class, as what our director said, a teacher must have a well-planned lesson, and the teacher is prepared in everything. Okay. Also, in a classroom, the teacher asks questions and the students answer. So we don't just wait for the students to talk. We have to initiate. And we do not keep on talking because we need to provide time for our students. Always remember that teachers now are learning facilitators. Okay. The third, the teacher treats the students well, the students behave well, and demonstrate good attitude. Okay. This is ideal. Not this is not always true, but it all depends upon the teacher. When do students misbehave? It is perhaps, and it is certainly when the teacher uh, lacks on classroom management. Next, the teacher gives group activities. The students collaborate and come up with a good output. Okay, we are promoting collaboration, cooperation, and all of these things. We want our students to share, to learn together, in order for them to be ready to live together or to live with others. And so this can only happen if we give our students activities that will allow them to work in groups. Okay? Next, the teacher teaches and the students learn. Nowadays, teachers, as we teach, we also can learn from our students. We are not the sole fountain of knowledge or the sole source of knowledge. We can learn much from our students. Next, the teacher gives a quiz and the students make high scores. Of course, that is what we always expect. But students can make high scores only if they learn much. And how can they learn much? It is when we do good classroom management. And then the teacher gives an assignment. The students get it, do it, and submit the following day or on the day that the you agreed for them to submit. All right. All of those are ideal things. We say ideal because there will always be challenges. There will always be things, unforeseen things that may happen. And if those things are always present, that means that we are doing our classroom management very well. However, as I said, those things do not happen every time. Now, what do we need to do in order to keep them happen or to make them happen, not necessarily every day or not necessarily during the whole period, but we can always strive. And that can always be possible. And we say that it is possible only when we do effective classroom management. Now, let us try to understand what classroom management is. So let me present some definitions here. The highlighted and underlined words are very important. So it says that this is from Wikipedia, no? It is a term, though Wikipedia is not a very good source, but it has a very good definition of classroom management, and it says that it's a term that educators use to detail processes that ensure lessons in the classroom. The lessons run in the class smoothly and without disruptive behavior from those who may compromise content delivery. So it is a process, and that is a process that aims to make things run smoothly and to avoid disruptive behavior in order not to compromise the delivery of content, meaning that whatever the teacher prepared will be delivered properly and will be learned by the students. Okay. So it is a process. It's not just an accidental thing or incidental thing. Okay. Next, the classroom management, as defined by the Glossary of Education Reform, refers to the wide variety of skills and techniques. All right, take note. Variety of skills and techniques that teachers use to keep students organized, orderly, focused, attentive, on task, and academically productive during a class. So uh, there is, the word wide variety of skills and techniques tells us that there is no single way of managing our classroom. Why? Because we have varied students. We have different lessons. Our students have different moods in the same way that a teacher may have varied moods as well. So everybody can exhibit different behaviors. And because of that, we need to have different techniques. All of the which would be for academically productive session with your students. Okay, next is this is from a research done by Iverson, and the definition says that classroom management is the act of supervising relationships, behaviors, and instructional settings and lessons for communities of learners. It is a preventive activity that results in decreased discipline problems. Okay, take note of the word preventive activity. We do not do classroom management when the problem is already there. We have to prevent any problem from taking place during uh, teaching and learning time so that we can have decreased discipline problems or zero discipline problems. Okay, so it says it is supervising relationships and behaviors. Yes, students should students be in a relationship? Should there be relationships in the classroom? Yes, there should be a positive relationship between teachers and students, and of course also among students, because if our students are in trouble or are in conflict, we cannot expect them to be respecting one another. We cannot expect them to be collaborating or working with each other positively. All right. So take note, they are classroom management is supervision of relationships and behaviors, and that is meant to prevent any discipline problem that may result, of course, in a failure for success in the classroom. Okay, and then next, this is from me, and I define classroom management as the actions and decisions made by the teacher that are meant to lead students to maximum productive use of teaching and learning time. These are actions and decisions done by the teacher. Okay. Everything that we do in the classroom would require classroom management, and that is done by the classroom manager, who is no other than the teacher. And the only purpose is for maximum utilization of teaching and learning time. We are given 2 hours each session. Sayang naman kung yung 30 minutes ay mauubos lang sa kababawal ninyo, kaaayos sa upuan ng mga bata, kasasabi sa kanila, you sit down, you transfer to this place, you go to this place, you bring out your things, you get your notebook, all those things will take so much time. And so the teacher should, as you prepare your lesson plan, you should also prepare how things will take place within the shortest period of time. Okay? So let's proceed. So these are varied definitions of classroom management, and you will notice that all of these are meant to prevent discipline problems in order to maximize learning among our students. Okay? Now, are the visible signs of classroom management or of a well-managed class? Okay. In a well-managed class, we can see these things. Okay. Look at our students. Look at the students here. So they are all busy. They're all engaged. They are all participating. And look at the students. They are working even without their teacher. You can also do this. Look at the students seated on the floor. Look at, pay your attention to the one who is sitting beside the teacher, sitting on a chair. Do you have any idea why that student is not on the floor, but on the chair and in front of his classmates? Okay, perhaps you already have an idea of um, why he is there, and certainly that is a teacher's decision. Okay. Ang gandang tingnan, di ba? We will expect you to have, we will expect to see your classes doing these things with you as the classroom managers. And of course, as a manager, you are the teacher. All right. So, in a well-managed class, there should be classroom rules. And those classroom rules are well observed. Hindi lang siya nakadikit sa wall, hindi lang siya memorized ng mga estudyante, but they are being observed and followed by your students. Next, everyone comes on time. Of course, we teachers should also come on time. Actually, ang problema lang naman natin ay yung first period class. No? Kasi after the first period class will be the second period, and the students will be waiting for you in the classroom. So, 1 to 2 or 3 minutes before the start of your session, you must be at the door so that as soon as the first teacher leaves the classroom, you can enter. And that can prevent your students from doing misbehaviors in the classroom. Doon kasi nagkakaproblema yung waiting time ng mga bata. Kung wala pang teacher, di syempre, tatayo muna sila at magkakagulo muna ng kaunti. And that will make you start at once. So magbabawal ka pa. Paupuin mo pa yung mga estudyante mo. Whereas if you're going to enter, as soon as the previous teacher leaves, you can avoid discipline problem. Next, students are performing as expected. Siyempre, what do we expect from our students? We want them to be active. And in a well-managed class, that is what we can see. Our students performing and behaving well. Next, in a well-managed class, the teacher is able to deliver smoothly what she or he has planned. Yeah. Kasi hindi masasayang yung time mo para magbawal o para ayusin ang mga estudyante mo. Next, materials prepared are well utilized. There are occasions when you consume so much time preparing your materials only to be disappointed when you meet your class because you failed to utilize them. Why? Because most of your time was spent disciplining your students. Next, students are highly participative. Yes, if you want them, you tell them to work in groups, they do it. You tell them to recite, they do it. You tell them to take, you give them a quiz, and they perform well in the quiz. You give questions and they recite, they answer well. Um, that can happen in a well-managed class. Next, happy faces are highly visible in class. Of course, um if the students are performing, it's not only the teacher who can smile or who smiles. Everybody will be happy when they are achieving. Okay. Next, politeness and respect are seen in words and actions. So you respect your students and the students respect you. And of course, the respect is not just between the student and the teacher, but among students as well. So, walang naghihiyawan, walang naghaharutan, walang nag-aagawan ng gamit, and so on and so forth. Walang nag-aaway pati. And of course, that is something that we can never tolerate in the classroom. When the students engage in a fight in the classroom, that should never, never, never happen. Okay. Next, still on a well-managed class, there is a welcoming and encouraging ambience. No? So, masaya yung mga estudyante. Masaya sila pag dumarating ka at masaya ka rin na nakikita mo sila. The competition does not have any space in a well-managed class, but collaboration is heightened. Walang away-away. We don't make our students perform because there is a competition. We do not garner the days when competition is given importance. Our students can learn more if they are not competing with one another, but they are working together with each other. Okay, next. Students are responsive to challenges. It means that if you give them a group activity or if you give them a task, they will not complain, but instead of complaining, they will get excited to be engaged with the task and with the group mates in order to do the task that you ask them to do. And not only that, even during recitation, even in the giving of quiz or in the giving of project, there should be excitement in our students. And then they are highly engaged in a variety of activities. Yes. And the students make high scores in evaluation. Siyempre, well-managed class, in a well-managed class, we expect or we can expect our students to succeed. And success thus cannot or should not be seen only in during the discussion or during the recitation. And of course, when our students can recite well, when our students can give good answers, when we see our students listening and really participating, we can expect them to perform um, as well as to perform well in their written evaluation. By the way, evaluation does not only mean written evaluation. There is always performance evaluation. And there are, of course, alam nyo naman, there is what we call diagnostic. Then at the end, we have that summative and then the in-between. Ano yung in-between? All right. Next, the teacher is inspired and fully satisfied. Siyempre, if our students are performing and succeeding, they can inspire us. And we will go home with a satisfied heart. And on the next day or on the next meeting, we will again get excited to meet our class. And then lastly, The teacher enjoys checking and recording her students' outputs. Alam nyo, yung effort sa pagre-record ng 70 at pagre-record ng 100 ay pareho lang. Pero there is a big difference in terms of emotion. If you are recording scores of 70, 73, 75, 78, pag dinrawing mo yung face mo, syempre, it will be a very unhappy face. However, if you see your students having scores of 89, 90, 91, 95, 98, 100, napakasaya natin nun. Okay? So, these are signs of well-managed class. Next. All of those define an effective teacher in the classroom, an effective teacher in the classroom and an effective classroom manager. And doing an effective classroom management is one of the most important responsibilities of any teacher, pre-service teacher, field study teacher, or we who are in service teachers. These are classroom management is one of the hardest parts of teaching because no two classes are alike. Yung ginawa mo sa isang classroom may not necessarily be effective in another classroom. No two students are the same. Yung estudyante mo sa isang section can be different from your students in another section. But you may tell at the ITL, we have only one section per grade level. But it does not mean that, of course, you will be exposed not only in one grade level, you will have another, there is always another grade level that you may observe or that you may be able to handle, depending on the arrangement that you are going to have with your supervisor or with your professor. And definitely there is no university that can offer you daily experiences of observing or being with 30 or more kids, except now that you are in field study. And after this term, you're practice teaching. So, classroom management may always vary. Yours as well. One definition says it requires varied skills and strategies because no two sections are the same, no two students are the same, no two daily experiences or no daily experiences would be similar. Okay. If that is the case, if classroom management is difficult in face-to-face classes, can it be easier in an online class? O bakit pag-usapan natin yung online class? Kasi it's always possible this time. After pandemic, it's always possible that you may handle online classes. Or is it the different individual class? Do you think that the classroom management in virtual and in face-to-face classes are the same? Or they are different? Okay, so it says that classroom management in face-to-face and in online class is the same. They are the same. Okay. Of course, there are varied strategies, there are varied skills that you need to utilize, strategies that you need to apply. And as a teacher, you should always be a classroom manager. And according to a research done by Daniel Stewart, he proved that in his research entitled Classroom Management in the Online Environment, when appropriate preventive management strategies are applied, the online learning environment can be as rich and as productive as in the traditional classroom. He also said that despite the unique nature of the online learning environment, many of the same features that are essential to the success of a traditional classroom management also apply in the online classroom. Therefore, what we are going to have today can be applicable both in in-person class as well as in an online class. Okay, so to help you prepare for this very vital and very important teacher's task, let me share with you the steps on effective classroom management. And as we go over them, you will see that they are almost exactly the same as those that you have learned in your previous Prof Ed classes. So treat this session, these tips as a refresher course, as a refresher of the things that you have taken up previously in your different Prof Ed subjects, but this time you are challenged to put them in practice. By the way, mga anak, you are not going to, you will not be able to have the chance of teaching several sessions. So, katulad ng sinabi ng director namin kanina, pag nagturo ka, ibigay mo na yung todo mo. Kasi yung turo mo na yun can be your first and last. Why? Because you are many. Your groups are big. And our sessions, our classes are not too many. So, when it's your term, maximize it. Bring out all your best. Okay. So let's start with the tips for effective classroom management. The first is, of course, you have to come to class fully prepared. And what do we mean by being fully prepared? Okay. Look at the teacher. Fully prepared means you make a well-planned lesson. And your lesson plan will start from motivation up to assessment. And you have to prepare your lesson plan at least a week in advance and present it to your professor as at least 3 days before your teaching so that, siguro hindi lang 3 days kasi first time natin, you present your lesson plan to your teacher as early as possible so that if there is a need for revisions, you can do it. You will have enough time to do the revision and to prepare your materials. Pag sinabit mo yan sa iyong professor just a night before, kung ako yon, I will not touch it anymore. Bahala ka. Pag nagturo ka, gigrade na kita. Pag pumalpa ka, sorry na lang. Your teaching is a big part of what you are going to, a big part of what I am going to grade you. And of course, pagkapalpak yon, what do we expect? Palpak din na grade. And we do not expect any one of you to be happy with a grade of 85 or 89 or 90. We expect that each one of you would aspire to get a grade of at least 95 to 100. Or if not 199.9. Okay, so come to class fully prepared with your well-planned lesson. And then you plan engaging activities. Sabi nga natin kanina, we have to make our students engaged. We make them busy. We make them, and those things are possible only when we give them interesting activities. And these activities are things that we ask our students without any plan. Kailangan planado ang lahat ng bagay na yan. Okay. And then, we prepare appropriate and useful teaching materials. And if you are going to teach online, you have to check your gadget minutes before you begin with your class. Okay. So, tingnan nyo yung teacher na yan, ready, pero nagtuturo siya online. Next, we have to establish rules and behavioral expectations with students ahead of time. You are teaching during the first term. Starting next week, you will be meeting the ITL students that you are going to handle. You together with your supervisor or with your professor will be establishing rules, classroom rules in the class and with your students. So, huwag kayo yung first na magba-violate sa rules. Okay, what would be the components of classroom rules? First, the use of learning space. Dapat may sitting arrangement. Dapat yung mga bata, alam nila kung saan sila nakaupo during your class. It is possible that you can change the existing sitting arrangement or the sitting arrangement in the previous in their previous subject. Pupwedeng kayo ay gumawa. Pero kung minsan, nalilito yung mga bata. So kung wala namang problema do sa kanilang classroom or sitting arrangement which was done by the class advisor, or you can just continue with that. Punctuality and keeping their presence in class throughout the period. You have to observe punctuality and you also have to demand this from your students. Readiness, also one component of classroom rule is the readiness for the lesson and assigned activity. And then communication standards. How do you want your students to be communicating with you? Gusto nyo ba na habang nagsasalita ka, nagsasalita rin sila? Gusto nyo ba na magsasalita lang sila, sasagot lang sila sa question mo without requiring them to raise their hands and so on and so forth? You have to have clear rules on this. And then, dress code. Meron tayong, our students have school uniform. Alam naman natin yon. They should be in proper school uniform. And if they are not in the proper uniform, makikita nyo naman, bakit may batang naiiba? You have to call their attention. And of course, it should not just be you. It should not just be your students. You as well must be in proper school attire. Mayroon kayong FS uniform. That is what we expect from each one of you. And then, this dress code goes, of course, part of this dress code would be your pair of shoes. Yung ating footwear. Ano ba ang dapat na sapatos natin kung tayo ay nagtuturo? Dapat ba ay tayo naka-rubber shoes? Dapat ba tayo ay naka-maong pants? Kung turo ba yon? Okay. In the previous years, tayo ay medyo maluwag-luwag kasi we consider the fact that we were not in the usual normal. Although, di ba may tinawag na tayo yung new normal. Ngayon, gradually bumabalik na tayo sa old normal. Kaya, kung ano ang mapag-usapan na dapat uniform ninyo, yon ang isusot ninyo when you are in the classroom. Most especially if you will be the teacher. Rubber shoes is not for the classroom. Tingnan ninyo yung mga estudyante natin, they are not wearing rubber shoes. Baka kayo naman ay kayo pa yung unang mag-violate. Lalong-lalo na kung kayo ang magtuturo. You have to be in the most proper attire. At bahagi din nun, of course, ang inyong, the way you fix your hair and the way you fix your face. Sabi nga ni sir natin kanina, ni Direk, ayusin nyo ang inyong mga sarili. Make yourselves respectable so that you can gain the respect of our students. Ang mga bata, unang-una, hindi pa nila kayo kilala. How will you earn their respect? Una-una, through your words, through your facial expressions, through the way you project yourself. Yung pang-physical pa lang. Di ba gano'n naman tayo? Pag manliligaw kayo, pag magkakakrush tayo sa isang tao, titingnan mo na, ang una nating nakikita the first thing that attracts us is the physical look. But of course, there is much more beyond the physical. yung skill natin, yung husay natin, that is what our students would want to see in each one of you. And then, how do you want your students submit the requirements, the observance of etiquette at all times, kindness, courtesy, respect, all those things. And then, how do you, of course, you have to impose your rules and the consequences consistently. Kung nag-misbehave ang bata, may kaparusahan. So, hindi siya nag-submit ng assignments for 2 consecutive times, ano ang dapat na parusa? O hindi siya nag-submit ng assignment na pinagawa mo? O hindi siya nag-participate? Dapat ay may handa tayong gagawin, being the classroom management, being the classroom manager. Now, we also have to laugh with our students. Your sense of humor should always be a part of your personality as a teacher. And always remember, a teacher is a model. You give your students proper modeling. We cannot expect from students things that that they don't see in each one of us. All right. So those are parts of classroom rules that you need to establish with your students. Okay. So next, establish a routine and be consistent. So before, oh, of course, for each session, your students, uh, there will be a specific field study student who's going to handle the class, or it could be not one but two or three, depending on the size of your group. Whichever is the size and whatever is the number, and whenever you are going to teach, there should be routine in the classroom. How are you going to start? Are you going to start with a prayer? If you begin on the first meeting, you begin with a prayer, all the other sessions should start with a prayer. No matter what is the name of our God, if praying is a part of the routine, dapat ganoon. If review is a part of the routine, dapat ganoon. If checking of the physical um, aspect of the classroom or is part of the routine, it should be done. So, and of course, class, the moment that we enter the classroom, yung mata natin, lalakihan natin, tingnan natin kaagad. Do we have proper ventilation? Are the lights on? Malinis ba ang board? Maayos ba ang upuan ng mga bata? All these things are parts of classroom management. Nasa pinto ka pa lang, tinitingnan mo na dapat ang mga yan. Okay, next. We have to remove distractions. Or look at this student. This happens in an online class. And this can also be happening with you during your online class. And look at the other picture. Tignan nyo, ang laki-laki na ng estudyante magpapalipad ng airplane sa classroom. Those are distractions. O yung batang nakikipaglaro sa kanyang toy during class. So, you will be facing your students. Napakadali ninyong makita kung may if there are things that may disturb or distract the classroom processes during the session. So, at once, ipatanggal mo na. So, kikita mo na on the armchair of the student, there are so many things that are necessary for your class before you start with the lesson, or even before you greet your students, good morning, you tell them, remove all those things that are not necessary. Okay. Keep the class engaged and focused on learning. Yes. So, how do you do that? You provide your class with multiple activities for interactive learning so that they can be engaged and they can actively participate. Of course, you have to use interesting teaching and learning strategies and teaching and learning materials. Provide frequent opportunities for students to respond, to participate. This thing that we are doing now is a lecture thing, mga anak. Baka sabihin niyo, sabi ni ma'am, provide opportunities to respond and to participate, but she is the only one talking because you are too many and I cannot afford to, our time is not too long, and therefore we cannot spend much time for participation. I just believe and I just hope that you are learning and that you are paying attention from wherever you are right now. Okay. Connect teaching to student lives. That is important. Mahalaga na naiintindihan ng mga bata ninyo ang kahalagahan ng pinag-aaralan nila. Kasi if they don't see the relevance of your lesson to their daily lives, they will not get engaged. They will not get interested. Okay, and give each one as much possible, give each one a chance, an equal chance to be heard and to participate. Pero sabihin niyo, ma'am, we have only 2 hours and there are 30 students. It's very impossible for me to be able to call all the 30 students during the 2 hour period. Yes, that may not be possible, and that is the reason why we give our students opportunities for group activities, because that is where they can bring out their ideas, that is where they can talk, that is where they can participate. Okay, so those are things that you can do to keep your class engaged and focused on learning. Now, if you are going to teach online, you treat the webcam like a person. O, ayan. Tingnan niyo yung teacher, nakangiti rin siya. Kasi alam niya, nakaharap niya yung mga estudyante niya. Yung screen, katulad ngayon, di ko naman kayo nakikita. What I see on my screen are these things that I am projecting before you. I don't see you, but I feel like, and I make sure that I deliver my talk as if you are in front of me. Okay. So that is when you are going to teach in an online class. Next, you be supportive and friendly, but you have to be firm. Okay. Be friendly, but be not a friend or kabarkada to your students, ha? You have to be friendly. Hindi yung field study student pa lang tayo ay parang principal o parang director o parang presidente na tayo ng universidad. Because even those people smile at us and project friendly attitude to students, to teachers, and so on. So, ganun din tayo mga anak. Kasi kung matapang tayo, katulad ko, baka yung mga estudyante ninyo ay hindi makikooperate sa inyo. Okay, hindi makikooperate kasi matakot sila sa inyo. Okay. Build and maintain rapport with students. That means have harmonious relationship in the classroom. Walang fear, walang prohibition, walang threat. Okay? And then attend to students' questions. There are times when the students would ask for clarification, would ask for the meaning of the word that you used. So you give time. You attend to your students. And then when there are occasions when your students will say, you give an assignment, but later your students would say, Mom, kasi sabi mo, they're going to submit it a day after, but your students were given several assignments already by their teachers, and they already have other deadlines on the same day that you ask them to submit. So, makibargain kayo sa mga estudyante. Pwede naman yun. Ano ba naman kung bigyan nyo sila ng 1 o 2 araw na palugit, no? For as long as, of course, we tell our students, okay, it's fine with me, but you have to submit your a well quality or a very good quality output susunod. Okay? So look at these teachers. Very friendly sila. Be confident and positive. How can you be confident? Of course, when you are well prepared, you can stand before your students very confidently. So, make sure ready kayo. And how will you be ready when your supervising professor gives you a go signal to execute your plan? Pero pag walang go signal yan ng professor ninyo, sorry kayo. Kahit na ikaw pa oozing pa ang confidence mo, baka manginginig ka. If you are not sure if the lesson that you're going to deliver is a well done lesson or well prepared lesson. Always keep in mind that the lesson that you are going to deliver is something that you know very well, and that you are the one who knows your lesson best. So that will give you enough confidence. So believe also that your students can accomplish the thing that you are going to ask from them. That is why it's important that we know our students. So each time that your teacher, each time that there is a lesson or there is a class, you have to observe your students. Kasi dapat alam natin kung sino ba yung magagaling sa klase, kung sino medyo hindi mga mahusay, para yung mga questions na may hirap, bibigay natin doon sa magagaling. Para naman, at yung mga questions na hindi masyadong mahirap ay para doon sa mga average students natin so that each one can have a feeling of achievement. Kasi yung madaling tanong, pag binigay mo sa mga husay na bata, baliwala lang yun sa kanya. It will not give him a feeling of satisfaction. Okay, next. So, acknowledge your students' good deeds and celebrate achievements. O, tingnan ninyo. So, how will you do that? The teacher gives the students a feeling of pride. You help your students feel proud of their outputs. Okay, so look at what these teachers are doing. And mga anak, please do not say the same words to recognize your students' positive behavior. Halimbawa, nagsabit ng maganda, sumagot ng tama, nagbehave ng maayos, and you always have one word, very good, very good, very good. You can make use of other phrases or other words. So you can say, oh, you're on the right track. That's right. That's good. You're really working hard today. You are very good at that. You have a very good work. I'm happy to see you working like that. That is extraordinary. That is so much better. That is exactly right. That is great. Or you can say congratulations and many more. Okay? So pag-aralan ninyo, there are other ways of acknowledging your students' good outputs and good behavior. And then, practice time management. O katulad ko ngayon, nag-overtime na ako. Kasi kanina si Direk nag-overtime din, di ba? Okay. Pero pagka sa klase, hindi natin anak sasabihin yun. Kasi nag-overtime yung naunang teacher, kaya mag-overtime din ako. Kasi yung pag-overtime ng naunang teacher ay may dahilan. Definitely, kaya kung kaya nating tapusin within the allowed time, ay tatapusin natin kasi may pinlano din, mayroong lesson plan din na inihanda yung next teacher after you. Okay. So you check discipline problem immediately and peacefully and without embarrassing anyone. That is important, mga anak. Huwag tayong magpapahiya ng estudyante sa classroom. What can you do? You call the attention of the disturbing student. By calling the attention, wag mong ihiyaw ang pangalan ng estudyante. Ha? Pwede mo siyang lapitan, you tap the shoulder, or you whisper to him, anak, that is too much already. Okay. You try to redirect your student. Redirecting means refocusing the child's attention. You ask the student, do you have any problem? Is there anything that you need? Baka naman kasi napapasian na yung estudyante pero hindi siya makapagpaalam sa iyo. Or he may not be feeling well at kailangan niya pumunta sa clinic. So, you them continues, you can settle with him. You can tell him, uh, y- I will send you to the faculty room and let's talk later. Pero do not do that without the approval or without the permission of your cooperating teacher, huh? Of your professor. And it's actually your professor who should only do that. Okay? Do not let a student go out of the classroom. Okay. So, lagi nating tatandaan ha, walang magpapahiya ng estudyante. These are suggested steps to discipline misbehaving students if ever there is a misbehaving one. Dito naman sa ITL, generally ang mga estudyante natin ay manageable. Pero syempre, kung magpapabaya kayo, you will give them a chance to misbehave. And we do not want that. So, you have to redirect. You have to check out. Sabi ko sa inyo kanina, find out there could be a problem. You speak to the child about the problem. You give him choices. Ano gusto mo? O ayaw mag-participate. Ayaw tumayo at makijoin sa group mates. You tell the student, what do you want? You want to work with your group mates that I assigned to you, you want to work in another group, or you want to work alone. Kasi baka may problema yung bata doon sa ilang bata na nabigay na group mates niya. We do not know. So you give him choices. And you use logical or natural consequences. Kung ang problema niya maingay, ano ang dapat nating punishment or ano consequence noon? Pwedeng hindi mo siya tawagin. Maingay siya, nakatayo na siya, hindi mo pa siya tinatawag, pwedeng hindi mo siya tawagin sa recitation. Pero hindi po pwedeng, hindi mo siya bibigyan ng quiz. Kasi yung pag-iingay, walang kinalaman doon sa quiz. Okay? Use time out if still out of control. So, nakita nyo kanina yung batang nakahiwalay. We call that time out. Time out strategies can be non-exclusion. Nandoon siya sa classroom, nandoon pa rin siya sa grupo, pero hindi mo siya tinatawag. Or exclusion, andoon siya sa tabi ng teacher. O kaya ay isolation, pinaupo mo siya doon sa table ng teacher. Okay. Pero, syempre, wag nating hihintayin na mangyari ang mga bagay na yon. Because a student who receives this strategy or discipline strategy definitely will not learn during that period. Kung ikaw ay nag-iisa, alam mong iyon ay parusa, you will not be able to focus anymore. So, wag nating hayaan na mangyari yon. Alright? So, reminders for positive guidance and discipline. Children feel safe and secure when they have limits. And this means training our students to develop self-control. Okay. So, discipline is self-control. Attention is a powerful reinforcer to guide children. Give each and every child the attention that he or she deserves. Discipline should be relevant to the misbehavior. Huwag basta sisigawan ng bata, huwag basta paparusahan ng bata. Tingnan natin ano yung bang disiplinang binibigay natin sa kanya ay yun ang katumbas ng misbehavior niya. And then, katulad ng sabi ko sa inyo kanina, positive modeling is important. Consistency is the key to guidance. Hindi po pwede yung disiplina mo ngayon ay nabinigay sa isang bata when another child committed or commits the same offense ay ibang disiplina naman ang ibibigay mo. O kaya ngayon, ito ang sinabi mo, bukas ay iba naman ang sasabihin mo. We have to be consistent so that our students will know what we want and what we expect from them. Respond to aggressive behavior in non-aggressive ways. So, ang ingay-ingay ng mga estudyante mo, mag-iingay ka ba? Sisigaw ka rin ba? Of course not. No, that is not what we are going to do. You think of a strategy that will make your students keep tone down or keep quiet. You can make use of a whistle, blow a whistle without saying a bad word, without shouting. You can give a positive response to their noise. Okay. Use routines to help children know what to expect and how to manage their behavior. Nasabi ko na kanina yung routine. Follow through with your request. Ano bang request ninyo? Actually, this may not be just request, but tasks that you assign. So you tell your students, class, we agreed last time that you're going to submit your project on this day. What happened? So I can give you time until your last period today to submit your project. Other than that, I cannot give you the same uh, possible highest grade that I will give to those who submitted on time. But please do not threaten your students. Do not tell them, next meeting, I will not accept you in class anymore. We don't do that, huh? And do not say something that you cannot do. Kasi you will lose your credibility. Next, focus on their good behavior. Wag lang yung laging nagpaparusa tayo. Wag lang yung sermon ng sermon. By the way, we don't give time for sermonizing ha. Ang oras ng pagtuturo ay sa pagtuturo ginagamit, hindi sa pag-sermon ng bata. If you need to talk to your students, do it after your class and during the students' vacant time. Perhaps during their recess time, you can ask for some 2 to 3 minutes or 5 minutes the most. Okay. Focus on good behavior, ha? I-highlight natin yung magagandang attitude ng mga estudyante natin so that they will be inspired. And then give reasons along with rules to help them learn why. Gusto ng mga bata ngayon laging may dahilan kung bakit ito ay hindi pwede, kung bakit ito ay bawal. They should know the reason why. And then treat children as responsible adults. We want them to mature, we want them to grow. So we have to treat them as responsible individuals. Huwag tayo yung mag-a-adjust na tayo yung magbabata-bataan kasi that is hindi progressing yon, that is retrogressing. Baka tayo pa ang magpakaisip bata, ha? That is not proper. The purpose of discipline is to learn self-control and not obedience. That is what we want to train among our students. We do not just discipline them because we want to have good classroom management or effective classroom management. No, we are developing a whole child. So yung self-control is something that every child should learn and let them learn it through you, through each one of you. Okay? And make sure the message of concern always gets through. Ma-feel ng bata na kahit siya ay napagalitan mo, ay because you have concern for him or for her. Na yung disiplinang binigay mo sa kanya ay para sa kanya. Your student should feel that. Okay. So, what is the importance of classroom management? It makes fruitful implementation of everything that has been planned. It establishes and sustains an orderly environment in the classroom. It increases meaningful academic learning. And then it decreases negative behaviors. And it can encourage the class to perform better next time. And it can inspire the teacher to continue giving his or her best work and performance. Okay. So, ito ang mga dahilan kung bakit mahalaga ang why we should observe effective classroom management. And to end, mga anak, research suggests that all students are motivated to learn. They'll be motivated to learn as long as there are clear expectations. The tasks and activities have value, have relevance, interesting, and the learning environment promotes intrinsic motivation. Hindi yung nag-aaral lang ang bata dahil gusto niya ang mataas ng score. Hindi lang yon. But motivated students are motivated to learn we should have intrinsic motivation. Now, how can we have all these things if we have well-managed class? And that is the end of my presentation. Thank you and welcome to the challenging world of molding young hearts and minds. Mga anak, maraming salamat sa inyo. I hope that you will enjoy your stay at the ITL and you will not just enjoy, but you will learn and you will learn uh, as much as you can so that you can be prepared for your practice teaching, which is, of course, on the second term. So, maraming salamat at magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Professor Annabel Mary,
Salamat din po.
for reminders on the classroom management, also the underpinnings on classroom management. I hope that the field study students were able to take down necessary notes, and it will be enriched later when you do it on practice, because experience with reflection is the best teacher. Thank you very much, Professor Palmieri.
Welcome po and thank you also. I hope they learned something from what I presented.
Now we will move to the open forum. You may use the chat box to address your questions. Technical com is the chat box available to our participants. If not, participants, you may use the raised hand button in your Zoom.
Opo naman, sir. Open po siya.
Okay. Thank you. To address your questions.
Hoy, magtanong kayo.
Sir,
Pag walang tanong,
Mr.
walang
Olano,
natutunan.
Mr. or Miss Olano is raising his hand.
You are recognized.
Po. Good morning po. Ayun po. Thank you po sa very malaman na discussion po. May question po ako. Sa mga ganitong klaseng parang mga tips and tricks pagka sa discipline po. Parang medyo madalang ko po naririnig yung strategy na parang, for example, yung isang section very super duper maingay ganun. Tapos magandang strategy po ba yung parang magtatanong ka sa kapwa teacher mo na, uy, ano yung ginagawa nyo dito sa section na to? Very maingay sila ganun. Or parang in a realistic setting po ba, like hindi siya feasible na parang magtanong sa mga kapwa teacher tapos dapat parang sariling diskarte na lang. Parang ganun po.
Anak, huwag mahiyang magtanong. Sabi ng right med, huwag mahihiyang magtanong. Lalo na kayo yung mga bata pa, no? Kayo mga bata pa, always have that humility to ask questions. Napakaganda na magtatanong kayo ng effective strategy sa ibang teachers. It is possible that the thing that you experience is also experienced by other teachers. That is always possible. So, laging tatandaan, huwag may hiyang magtanong. Did I answer your question?
Yes po. Thank you po.
Yan.
Oo na. Yeah. Oo.
Thank you, Professor Palmieri, for addressing the question. So here in ITL, we want to build a community of practice. So you have to share all your practices, no, so that the best practices will be kept, no, and you will learn from others. Next,
Yes, yes.
we'll have Miss Althea Luis Almendras and then followed by Mr. Antonio Jose Magtanong.
Good morning po, professors,
Good
doctors, and
morning.
fellow practice teachers. First po, gusto ko po na muna magpasalamat po for a very fruitful discussion. Highly, ang dami ko pong natutunan, ang dami ko nga pong nasulat na notes. Ang iniisip ko po, Prof, is kung sa application niya po sa pagtuturo po ng PE, since I am a PE and health major po, the thing is po, syempre, in our field, marami po talagang distractions. Like with the excitements din po sa loob ng classroom. Paano po kaya namin ma-ensure po na 100% yung focus po sa amin ng ng learners, as well as kung paano din po namin yon ma-relate sa buhay po nila, kaya in a way na may intindihan po nila, especially for the key stage 1 learners po.
All right. Anak, first of all, before you engage your students in an activity, you have to explain to them the importance of that activity. Kung halimbawang may game kayo, hindi lang basta magpapalaro, hindi lang basta sabihin niyo, oh, today we're going to play. Ano ang relevance noon? Dapat maintindihan ng mga bata natin na activity, yan ang problema actually, it happens not just in PE, but in other subject areas. Ang dami-daming activities so that at the end of the period, you ask your students, anong lesson ninyo ngayon? Ano po, naglaro po kami, nag-group activity po kami, and so on and so forth. Eh, ano nga yung pinag-aralan ninyo? Walang focus. Kailangan unified yung activities natin. Going to teach, ngayon pa lang tayo magpa-practice. Groups. Di ba? You are not going with your other with your fellow FS students. Pare kayo, you try to support one, but at the same time they should maintain discipline. Alam nila magbibehave ang mga estudyante ninyo. Pero una, walang physical punishment, walang embarrassing of students. Pero dapat bago mag-activity, yon, ibibigay natin ng irrelevance ng activity, naintindihan ng bata bakit nila gagawin yon, and there will always be guidelines. Huwag natin kalilimutan yon. Huwag natin sasabihin, okay, everybody stand, go to your group. Paano ba natin papakilusin yung mga bata ng maayos na with as much possible zero noise, and the action or the activity can be done. Halimbawa, gusto nyo, they will move from their seat to their group. Mag-alat kayo, 5 seconds lang, tama na yung class. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pagka pero dapat yan ay consistent sa mga estudyante ninyo. Kung ano ang napag-usapan ninyo as a group, ayun ang gagawin ninyo palagi. Okay? So, dapat maliwanag sa mga bata natin na hindi pwede silang mag-enjoy, pero there is always that level of may limit lang. Okay?
Thank you po.
There should sa kanila. Kasi sabi, okay?
Okay,
So,
thank
question please. Sino ngayon? I'm
Yes.
happy.
Sir
Maybe
Steve from
there are
Miss
many
Sheila
questions.
May Sagadal. Ayan, teacher, you are recognized.
Good morning
All right.
po. Thank you po sa discussion po natin. So very na-recall din po namin yung mga dati naming natutunan sa ating theoretical courses. Ang question ko po is about po sa motivation po. Is it advisable po to use chips for motivation po in ITL po?
Oo, anak, pero hindi yung if you see that your students are reciting just because of the chips, hindi yon intrinsic motivation, no? Dapat yung mga estudyante natin ay they should be able to develop a deeper reason for participation. And the teacher's explanation of the importance of the activity, the relevance of the activity to our students' lives will make them will be a deeper reason for them to learn, to participate, to be engaged. Oo. Sa simula po pwede siguro yon. Pero wag nating sanayin yung mga bata na may chips kaya lang sila magre-recite. Ha? Kasi nagiging automatic. O kaya nga sabi ko sa inyo, yung very good should not just always be very good. Aralin niyo yung mga ibang words that you can, Ikaw, halimbawa kayo mga anak, mas gusto niyo ba yung maka-receive ng chips kesa sabihin sa inyo ng teacher ninyo na you are doing an extraordinary performance today? O, alin ang mas masarap tanggapin? 'Di ba? So, tingnan ninyo yung ganoon. Okay? So, next. Thank
Thank
you
you.
also for opening your camera. I wish that each one I will do the same.
Thank you,
Kung po
Professor
pwede. Oo.
Palmieri.
Para alam kong may kausap ako. Next.
Okay, next we will have Antonio magtanong, followed by Pius, followed by Hannah, followed by Boho Evangelista, and last is Jo Marie. Then we will answer the question on the chat box later. Thank you.
Okay.
Hello. Am I
Ah,
audible?
yes.
Good morning po ma'am. First and foremost, thank you po ma'am dun sa discussion kanina. I didn't take notes. Ang ginawa ko ma'am, sinave ko lahat because I don't want to miss every single one of it. Kasi,
Oh, thank you.
yes ma'am. So, I will ask you ma'am as a professional po in this field, no? Ano pong mabibigyan yung tip for a sample this specific student na hindi po siya fond ng children, however na-assign siya dun. Ano pong tip ninyo para sa ganong student, how to handle children? Or should I say, yung mga students na on the younger side po.
Sorry, anak,
Ano pong tip na, I'm sorry ma'am. Ano pong
no.
tip ang maaari niyo maibigay sa sabi natin, ako po ma'am sample, hindi po ako fond of children. However, since kuma-assign man po ako sa mga younger students, ano pong tip na mabibigay po ninyo as a
Anak,
professional?
una sa lahat, you embrace this profession. You have no choice but to learn to love children. Oo. Kung alam niyo ba, I never dreamt of becoming a teacher. Gusto ko noon maging sundalo, maging pulisuman, and I also tried veterinary medicine, but I ended up in education siguro doon ako dinala ng Panginoon. And in the process, I came to learn to love even before I graduated. Hindi natin pwedeng sabihin anak na I'm not fond of children. Kasi hindi naman natin magiging estudyante kaagad ang matatanda. Tayo ay, if you intend to teach in the college level, hindi naman tayo kaagad mapupunta doon. No? So, ano ang pupwedeng gawin? Una, suriin ang sarili. Siguro hindi mo gusto itong sagot ko, anak. Suriin ang sarili. Are you for teaching? Kasi kung lifetime ito, Antonio,
Yes po ma'am,
gusto
I'm
mo ba yung
listening po.
sinasabi ko?
Yes po ma'am,
Anak,
yes
gusto
ma'am.
mo ba yung sinasabi ko? Alright.
Yes po ma'am.
Una, suriin ang sarili. Tanungin ang sarili, ito ba ang gusto kong pasukin? Dito ko ba gustong magtagal? Ito ba ang panghabang buhay na gusto kong gawin sa sarili ko? Ano ba ang major mo, anak? BSE ka ba or ba sa ano?
BTLE
Ah,
ICT po ako, ma'am.
all right. So it's very possible that you will be handling elementary and high school. So depende sa kung saan ka pwedeng ma-assign. At syempre hindi tayo pwedeng mamili. Kung saan kailangan ay doon tayo dadalhin ng ating magiging principal, 'di ba? So, una-una tingnan natin ano ba yung interes ng mga bata. Ano ba ang magaganda sa mga bata? Paano ba tayong magiging bahagi ng buhay ng mga bata? Siguro yun yung biggest motivation na pwede nating ibigay sa mga estudyante natin. Paano ako magiging bahagi ng learning, ng growth ng batang ito? And perhaps that if that will be our motivation, siguro ay you will come to develop liking for children or fondness for children. No? Hindi po pwede kasing ang gusto lang natin o ay yung lesson natin. More than the lesson would be the children. The fact that they are entrusted to you, that is enough reason for you to be motivated to teach your students. Okay? Anak, sana ay uh, with your stay at the ITL, you will come to develop liking or fondness for young learners. Okay. Good luck,
Thank you
Anthony.
so much, ma'am.
Anak.
Your answer, ma'am, hits the
Anton.
spot. Thank you so much po.
Okay, anak.
Thank you.
Next. Sino nga yung next?
I hope you were
Pius?
able to what do you call this? Lift up your spirit, no? And come to love the profession. And next we have
Yeah.
Paps.
Good morning po, ma'am. And ano po, thank you po sa sa discussion po kanina. And I have one question lang po. When it comes to recitations, like pag may mga bata po na medyo mahiyain, like they not always raise their hands, like but you want to call them, but you know they don't have the energy or maybe the motivation to say because they're shy. How do you encourage them to be comfortable with their answers? How do you boost their confidence po to make them
All right.
encourage them po?
Okay. Una-una, anak. Of course, our questions are of varied levels. There are easy, there are average, there are difficult questions. Ibigay mo sa kanya yung siguradong-sigurado kang kayang-kaya niyang sagutin. At pag nasagot niya yon, palakpakan mo siya. Give the best recognition that you can possibly give to this child. And then, pagkatapos nun, pwede mo pa siya sabihin na, you made me very happy when you recited. Okay. So, next meeting, siguro magre-recite na uli yung batang yon. Pag nasagot niya yung madaling question, yung next question mo sa kanya, yung medyo mahirap-hirap na, para ma-feel ng bata na, ay si sir, talagang gusto ni sir na ilabas ko yung husay ko. O si sir ay nagtitiwala sa akin, so on. So, you make the child feel that you are recognizing him really. You acknowledge even the simple gesture. Kahit pa nga anak, halimbawa, yung behavior niya, hindi siya nag-recite pero sa pagkilos maganda ang kanyang attitude, nakita mo 'yon, i-recognize mo 'yon. Para yung bata ma-feel niya na si sir ay may yung attention ni sir ay nafo-focus sa akin, yung gano'n. Okay? Tapos ituloy na lang ng ibang teachers. Kasi kung halimbawa Pius, on the first meeting or on the second week, ikaw ang magtuturo. So, yung next week, hindi naman ikaw na siguro kasi may group mates ka. So, pag-usapan ninyo nung mga ibang kasama mo o si ano, di ba mahiyain siya, natawag ko na, tawagin mo uli. So pagka kayo ay nakaupo sa likod while your classmates are teaching, be very observant. I-record ninyo yung mga performances, yung behavior ng mga estudyante ninyo. And that will prepare you when your turn comes. Okay? Payus, did I answer you? Did I answer your question?
Yes po, ma'am. Thank you very much po.
Oh, okay, anak. Alam mo nang gagawin mo, ha?
Thank you po.
Okay, and I'm sure hindi lang si Pius ang may concern noon. Lahat kayo. Talaga namang mahirap tumawag ng batang hindi nagvo-volunteer. Kasi kung minsan, baka sa pagtawag natin, ay malagay pa natin sa alanganin o ma-embarrass yung bata, lalo siyang hindi mag-recite at hindi mag-participate in other activities. Kaya ang bibigay natin sa kanila, yung sigurado tayong magagawa niya o masasagot niya. And then, give the right acknowledgement. Okay? Next, Hana. Ako natatawag sir, ano? Hana.
Okay, good
Oh,
morning.
this will be one because of the time constraint po, Professor Palmieri. So
Yes.
I think this just one question, and then those who are still raising their hands, kindly put in your questions in the chat box and maybe we can address them in the afternoon session. Thank you very much po.
Oh, yes.
One question.
And again, good morning, everyone. So first of all, thank you for reminding us that there really should be a positive relationship po between you as a teacher and your student. So my question po is, how do you establish authority without making your students feel threatened or takot po sa inyo?
You are asking me, how do I? Anak, tingnan mo yung mata ko.
Your tips po, ma'am.
Kita mo mata ko? Pag nagagalit ako sa klase, hindi ako nagsasalita. I just use my eyes. Nung araw, pag nag-flag ceremony ang ITL at maingay, hindi pa sila nagpumipila, I just use my eyes. I don't use the microphone. I do not talk. Okay, what I'm telling you is discover your strengths. Discover the powerful parts of your body. Your mouth should be used for teaching, not for shouting. Ha? Huwag tayo at lalong-lalo na mga anak, be very, very careful. Do not utter bad words in front of your students. Kasi violation yon sa mga bata. Tapos maririnig nila kayong magsasalita ng hindi magandang salita. That is very foul. Okay, discover what you can use. Ako, I just look at the students and that's it. Before the start of the class, I stand at the door. I look at the students. Isa-isa sila pupunta na sa upuan nila without me telling anything. But you have to be consistent. At the start, your students will not know that. Make them feel that you are a person in authority. The moment you stand in front of your students, make them feel you are the person in authority. You are the classroom manager. So wag kayong magsisimula na, class, let's start now. Walang ganon. Magpaka-teacher kayo, mga anak. And that is what we expect from each one of you. Huwag kayong mahihiya na titindig kayo sa harapan na teacher na kayo. That is what your professors will be expecting from you. Huh? A teacher is an actor, an actress. You are an artist. The moment you stand in front of your students, you forget yourself. You forget yourself. Hindi ikaw yung barkadista, hindi ikaw yung jolly person, hindi ikaw yun. You are the person in authority. Pero hindi naman you are the threatening person in authority. Hindi yon, ha? Dapat maintindihan ng mga bata nyo na while your professor is at the back observing you, you are the person who is going to be their who will be the school, the facilitator, the classroom manager, the one who is going to take charge of of all the activities in the classroom. And you deserve the biggest respect that your students should give to a teacher. Okay? So, Hannah, I hope I answered your question. Okay. So, as Sir Steve said, I want very much to answer more questions, pero mamayang hapon na lang, ha? Kasi nagihintay na rin sa akin ang grade 5 at grade 7.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Palmieri. Now we will move to the awarding of Certificate of Appreciation. I will be reading the citation. Philippine Normal University, the National Center for Teacher Education, Institute of Teaching and Learning, Manila awards the Certificate of Appreciation to Professor Annabel D.C. Palmieri in grateful recognition and sincere appreciation of her time and expertise shared as the resource speaker during the Patnuro program, Term 1, School Year 2023-2024, of the Institute of Teaching and Learning with theme Evolving into Future-Ready Teachers, held on September 26, 2023 via Zoom. Given this 26th day of September 2023 at Philippine Normal University, signed by our Director, Daryl Roy T. Montibon, PhD. Congratulations, Ma'am Palmieri.
Thank you po. At mga anak,
Congrats,
thank you so
ma'am.
much.
Salamat po.
I am so happy for your active participation. Thank you so much. Alam niyo yan ang joy ng para din tayong katulad rin namin kayo na pagka ang estudyante ay nagpa-participate, syempre, masaya ang nagle-lecture. Okay? Thank you po. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Professor Palmieri. We have noted 4 questions regarding classroom management, and we will try to address them possibly on the afternoon session. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Next,
Yes, sir.
we will
Bye-bye po.
move to session number 2, and this one is still very interesting.
Sir, mag-picture muna tayo.
I think Professor Bronyo have
Already no.
in the
Okay na,
afternoon na lang po, ma'am. Cheers.
Opo. Nakalista po si Ma'am Palmieri.
I think
Nakaalis na,
hinahanap na po siya ng kanyang grade 5 and grade 6.
Ma'am Bronyo, nag-picture na po ako kanina.
Okay. Meron na po ba? Sige.
Post ko na po sa ITL.
Si Ma'am Rosary na.
Moving on, we will have our next speaker. We have Professor Rosary Ann Borja. She is a registered guidance counselor, a registered psychometrician, and a licensed professional teacher. She is currently finishing her Doctor of Philosophy in Clinical Counseling Psychology at the De La Salle University, Manila. She is a volunteer therapist in a center in Quezon City, and she usually handles cases on neurodevelopmental disorders, schizophrenia spectrum, mood disorders, eating disorders, and trauma or stressor-related disorders and abuse cases. Our resident guidance counselor in the Institute of Teaching and Learning. Let's all welcome Professor Rosary Ann S. Borja.
Hi, good morning. Claro. Hi, everyone.
Good morning. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. Share screen lang ako. Okay ang audio ko, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes po.
Oo. Kasi medyo nag-ano si internet for a while. Okay. Before I start, I would just like to request everyone to get a piece of paper na pwedeng sulatan, or kung walang paper, siguro sa phone niyo, sa notes app ng phone. Okay lang ba, teachers? Okay. Sige, I'll give you a few seconds now to get a piece of paper kung wala ka. Siyempre, may kasamang pen. Okay. Meron na? Meron na? Sige. Okay. Okay lang ba, teachers? I'll be asking for your participation later on. Kung kailangan mag-on ng camera, okay lang din ba yon, teachers? Okay, sige. So, okay na, may mga papers na. Sige. I'm asking you to get a piece of paper or yung notes up to na naka-ready. Kasi, syempre, bilang bago na darating sa ITL, we also want to make sure na kayo bilang FS teachers namin ay okay pagdating sa ITL. Okay? Baka kasi this past few days may mga videos din napapanood, baka masyado na kayong na-overwhelm at some point natitrigger na teka lang, parang malapit na mag-start. Natatakot ba yung iba na mag-start na as FS teachers? So, ang aim kasi namin sa ITL, syempre, hindi lang kami happy as teachers at ang students namin ay happy. Syempre, pati kayo. Diba? Ang motto nga namin dati ay happy teachers, happy learners. Okay, so for the next few minutes or the next hour, kayo muna ang kakamustahin namin. Okay lang ba yan? Baka kasi walang kumakamusta sa inyo, kami na lang. Walang good morning, nag-breakfast ka na ba? O kami na lang. Okay lang ba, teachers? Sige. Okay, kung gusto niyo mag-on ng camera, ha, please. Okay? So, sige, let us start. Okay. Sige. Sa paper ninyo, I would be asking some questions. Okay. Sa pagsagot ng mga questions na to sa sarili ninyo, I want you to look at 2 time frames. Yung current, ngayon, today, yung status mo today, compared sa past 2 weeks ng buhay mo nito lang. Okay, so dalawang gagawa niyo ng sagot pag may tinanong ako. Yung ngayon, tsaka yung past 2 weeks para nakakompare natin. Okay? Disclaimer lang, this is not a clinical assessment ng inyong mental health. It's some sort, no? Pero hindi siya syempre official. This is basically a mental health checklist para kung may mapinpoint man tayo na medyo kulang or problematic, magagawa natin ng paraan or mag-start tayong gumawa ng paraan bago kayo makamit ng mga estudyante sa ITL. Okay? Sige. First question. How am I feeling today? Pag sinagot nyo ito mga anak, hindi lang about I'm happy, I'm sad. Ang tanong ko rin dyan, kamusta ka physically? Meron ka bang headache ngayon? Diba? Hindi lang about I'm happy, I'm sad. Gutom ka ba? Masakit ba likod mo? Okay? Pakisagot, kamusta ka today? May changes ba sa appetite mo ngayon? Napadami ka ng breakfast kasi na-stress ka na may online activity ka for the whole day? Nasagot ba? Thumbs up nga? Are you writing? Ito sila? Okay, thank you. Ay, thank you sa mga naka-on ng camera. Yan, para at least nakikita ko. Okay? So, ang tinatanong ko today, ang gusto ko namang next na ninyo, kamusta yung pakiramdam mo this past 2 weeks? I-rate natin, from 1 to 10, 10 as the highest, or functioning well ka, kamusta ka these past 2 weeks? So, medyo happy, half of the week, half of the day, so 7 lang. Okay, madalas ba masakit ang ulo mo these past 2 weeks? Sige, i-note niyo yan. That will serve as your reference. Hindi nyo kailangan ipasa sa amin yan. That would serve as your reference para ma-double check nyo kasi importante yan kapag nasa ITL na kayo. No? You can do this activity pag nasa ITL na kayo para once in a while na nagkaka-mental health check ka. Okay? So have you answered? Thumbs up? Okay. Question number 2. What's been worrying me lately? Okay, these past 2 weeks, ano yung medyo cause of worry mo, cause of anxiety mo? Tas today, ano ang cause of anxiety mo? Try to pinpoint your stressors. Halimbawa, wala ka pang uniform. O sa Twitter, ang dami ko nakikita ngayon, nagpapa-Gcash sila, sa mga fandom na patulong magpabili ng school shoes kasi ni-require na. Tapos merong isa naman nakita ko, parang sa ibang school siya, demo teaching na niya, kailangan daw niya ng help sa pag-finance ng pang-materials, instructional materials. So yun yung worry nung Yung iba, probably ang worry is hindi pa nakakuha ng dorm na malapit sa PNU. Okay. Or ang worry ng iba, paano ibabalanse ang work kung nag-work kayo part-time. Tapos paano yung nagpa-practicum ka sa ITL. Okay. Or ito ang common na nagiging problem or nagiging cause of concern. Nag-EFS, pero at the same time, meron pang tinitake na additional subjects, may mga ganong instances eh. So please identify your stressors today and the past 2 weeks. ITL teachers, you can also answer. Diba? Stressor, JC, yan. Okay, sagot din tayo teachers para ITL teachers. Okay, next. Ito. Am I providing my body with its basic needs? Ang tanong dyan, kumakain ka ba?
Sobra-sobra.
Ay, teka lang, pag ang pagkain ng sobra-sobra, minsan, Hindi rin
Ay, di ba?
tama. Oo. Kasi ang katawan natin, it can only take, di ba? It only needs certain amount of food. Okay? Pag sobra, di ba? Parang pag nasa buffet tayo or samgyup, di ba? Kahit busog ka na, di ba? Konting kiliti sa ano, igigilid ng tiyan para may space pa. Pero, hindi rin kasi nakakatulong minsan. It's like feeling sleepy, no? You want to take coffee, you want to drink coffee. Pero hindi ka pa rin nagigising. So, you kept on drinking like 3 cups of coffee na sunod-sunod. So, ang ending mo naman, may hyperacidity ka, hindi ka makatulog, napapump yung ano mo. So, yun yun. Extremes kasi, no, ang ating mga needs. So, next, pagdating sa, naligo ka ba today? Lately ba, this past 2 weeks, may wala kang desire to take a bath? It could happen, especially for those people na undergoing emotional stress. Okay. Have you exercised even a little bit? O daw nagtanong, naglakad-lakad ka na ba sa barangay mo for a short time? Nag-gym ka ba? Diba? Ang tulog mo, sino dito ang tulog ay more than 6 hours? Thumbs up nga kapag ang tulog mo ay more than 6 hours. Today ha, today. Parang kakaunti lang. Sino ang team puyat? Mga 2 to 4 hours lang ang tulog. Ako, kasama ko may dyan. Madami-dami. Okay. So, tingnan din natin, no, yung amount of sleep natin and the quality of sleep. Di ba? Na-provide mo ba talaga yan? Kasi kailangan ng katawan natin ng rest, night rest. Okay? Compared to these past 2 weeks. O, i-rate nyo nga from 1 to 10 ang sleep ninyo. 10 as well-rested ka pagkagising mo. Diba? Enough hours. Okay. Enough hours doesn't necessarily mean 8 hours because some people, especially the older ones, no, can function ng 6 hours of sleep. Okay. Okay. Ang exercise mo, even yung hindi naman yung kailangan naka-gym, no, like yung nagwo-walk ka, akit panaog ka sa ano, nakipagtakbuhan ka sa aso mo, are you able to get enough exercise? Okay. Sagutin niyo ha. Sige. Number 4. Okay. Am I mindful of the things I do and the environment I'm in? Sino dito yung pag kumakain, talagang nanamnam yung pagkain? Halimbawa, kumakain siya ng tosilo. Diba? Sino dito yung talagang while eating, nakafocus sa eating? Kasi ang tendency natin minsan while we're eating or doing something, nagzo-zone out tayo or iba ang iniisip natin instead of doing, na focusing on what we're eating. No? Some of the concerns I have, no, ay sa mga clients ko sa clinic, especially those with anxiety and depression, nawawala kasi yung pagiging mindful. So sometimes, one of the activities that I ask them to do is to be mindful of everything that they do. Especially, makain ka ng tosilo. Okay. Pag kumakain, pag mumunguya ka ba, nananamnam mo na mas matamis ba talaga tong tosino na to o mas maalat? Nare-recognize nyo ba yun? Yung kanin ba, yung sinangag kapag sinubo mo, pag sinaw mo, matigas ba yung mga butil? Malambot na parang sinangag siya kasi papanis na? Diba? Nanonotice niyo ba yung mga ganon? Or let's say when you're eating, nagbukas ka ng biscuit, naalala mo ba yung cover ng Rebisco? Anong kulay ba nung binuksan mong pakete ng biscuit? Or when you're walking, no, pauwi ka, nanonotice mo ba na yung bahay nito, ay teka lang, parang nag-iba yung pintura nung usual mong dinadaanan? Or ikaw ba nanonotice mo na while walking, napapansin mo na mas mabagal ka maglakad ngayon? Diba? So, minsan kasi, yun ang kailangan natin, no? We are supposed to be present at the moment. Kaya minsan, natitrigger ang ating mga unwanted thoughts, yung ating worry, kasi we are too focused on what's unknown. Diba? Kasi di pa naman natin alam kung anong mangyayari in the future. Na minsan, kaya tayo nagzozone out kasi mas nakafocus tayo sa anong nangyayari. Naghuhugas ka ng plato, nakailang sabon ka na pala doon sa isang kutsara, nakailang ulit ka na. Kasi iniisip mo, teka lang, ano bang first lesson na ituturo ko? That could happen, tawa-tawa ka, pero that could happen. Sa dami ng nahawakan kong clients, that usually happens. Or sino dito yung nasa jeep? Nakita niya na doon siya bababa, pero hindi siya pumara, tuloy-tuloy lang yung jeep. Tsaka niya na-realize after 3 na kanto na nakalipas, ay lagpas na pala ako. Okay, so that's not being mindful. Tingnan nyo rin yan. Okay, so please check on your mindfulness this past 2 weeks. Okay, fifth question. What am I doing to bring myself joy? Today, may nagawa ka na ba na nagpasaya sa'yo? As simple as, halimbawa, uminom ng kape, na talagang ninamnam mo yung kape. Or, what brings you joy ba? Halimbawa, ako, nalaro ko ba yung aso ko kaninang umaga? Pagkagising, yes. 'Di ba? Bago mag-work. Tapos kanina habang nag-aantay ako sa Q&A ninyo, nakipag-play muna ako sa dog. Sabi ko, parang tumataas yung BP ko, sa sakit yung bata ko. Sabi ko, sige, magre-relax muna ako. Sige nga, pakisulat, what have you done today na nagpasaya sa'yo? Kahit as simple as tinext mo yung crush mo, di ba? Okay. Identify. Yung today lang muna, ha? Sige, sulat. Kung wala, di X, wala. Sige, balikan. This past 2